Welcome back to the channel, everybody. It's Marc from CricketBatInfo, and today we're doing a CA plus 20,000k Morgs edition, or plus 20,000. So they used to do plus 15,000 players edition. Now they're doing 20,000. Maybe in 10 years' time they'll do 100,000. I don't know. So nice looking case, white and orange accents, fairly good padding inside. Got a carry strap, and it's going to get really dirty as soon as you start using it. So what we've got here is the top of the line Owen Morgan edition, made in Pakistan. This is an authentic one. It has 14 grains straight across the front, a little bit of heartwood. It does have the barcode sticker on it. I haven't scratched it, but if I did, I would start seeing some numbers. I've actually done this review 3 times now. Various issues. So there have been some changes done to the bat since I started pulling it out of the plastic the first time. The first one is I did take the toe guard off just to prove to you that those grains are not fake. And if you look closely under that rubber glue, this is going to have a shoe glue, you'll see the grains heading directly through there. And you'll also see the grains heading through this area of the bat. There are a lot of fakes around, unfortunately. Bats leaving Pakistan. This isn't one of them. This is definitely a CA bat. It looks like they've modified the stickers. They said that they're using a new 3D printing process. In the past, I've commented how poor the stickers were, that they were just sort of some sort of a enamel that I could actually just pick off with my fingers. That's not the case with these stickers, so that's definitely an improvement. If I hold it that way, you can see their Morgs edition. That is embossed. This part here isn't. And the only part that's embossed there is the CA, which has those stars. Down the side here, the hyperlink has actually been embossed. And on the front here, this part here is embossed, so is the signature. The fully knocked, which is always crap, but whatever. And so definitely new stickers. You can see a holographic VIP sticker here, another one underneath the main sticker. Obviously they do this check there, you go to the website, put it in to see if it's authentic. So they're trying to get around this issue of counterfeiting, which is an unfortunate blight on a lot of brands. It's not just Pakistan. It happens in India too, probably happens in other countries, particularly with the abundance of stickers on the market. But there are some rogues out there, you would have seen my thing on CX, who are doing blatant rip-offs of bats and manufacturing those rip-offs in the factory, not just somebody in the backyard. Anyway, let's get back to this bat. The grains are pretty stunning, aren't they? Nice and straight, fairly even, running directly through. And yeah, I showed you the bottom before, and it's nice across the back too, no real blemishes, high quality piece of timber. The profile has changed from a normal CA, which you normally have a high spine in a mid-high position and then spine going all the way through to the toe. With this particular bat, what we've got is more of a player's profile. The middle is in the middle. The edge accent, the edge peak is actually slightly offset, a little bit lower than the middle of the spine. And that's just, the spine is being used to drag the weight a little bit higher and aid pickup. It doesn't actually work that well on this profile. And the reason is because you can see there, we've got such a thick toe and then a lot of wood here, but then a lot of wood taken out in this area here, and a fairly thin handle. So it's generally going to pick up about its weight, or maybe even sometimes a bit heavier. Normally with these style bats, you're looking at like grey nickels and things like that, they tend to need an extra grip to balance them out. I did put the gauge on it, I'll do it again. So it just gets under the gauge. I've measured that spine to be just over 66 mil, and it's definitely, they're now using a proper 5mm face camber. So they're adopting the new regulations so they can get the most out of the bat shapes that they're using without needing to do other things. They're still leaving the edges very sharp, which makes the edges look bigger than they are. These edges measured up at 41.6, and the reason they're slightly over the 41 of the gauge is because it's 4¼ inches across the face of the bat, but we're losing just under 2mm at the back of the bat, and that creates this sort of extra length in those edges because they're not perfectly perpendicular to the face. I guess they would be 41, so it's not that much difference. Edges down here, I think I measured these quite thick. Now that toe guard's off, I'll do it again. So 22, and the center is 27.8, so quite thick there, and then down here we're looking at just over, well, just about 16mm. Yeah, as you can see there. It's fairly reduced right here, so that's gone down to about 35.8, and that leads into a fairly narrow round handle, which I've actually noticed I can get some twist in. So will it break? Well, you've probably seen that footage of the former captain, his handle breaking in half, and he actually managed to put it back together, and the reason is because they've got so many inserts. There's lots of bits and pieces holding these handles together. I have wound this down before. Yeah, they use some sort of ugly glue. It doesn't look pretty, but they actually try to glue down the grip. You can see there it says plus 20,000K, and there's a number 7 there, it appears to be. So generally the people who use these COs, I've seen them used, and they tend to go pretty well. Yeah, I think they go pretty well. That particular handle setup seems to aid with the whippiness, making the bat feel like it's going to perform a lot better earlier. Don't know how long the handles will last. There is a trade-off there. Look, a lot of bats will break. You know, if you really want to guarantee a bat won't break through this area, you really have to make it massive, and also the handle massive. But that doesn't necessarily give you the best bat. It just means it's more durable. So what this is trying to achieve is get all that wood down into that hitting area, and it's definitely a hitting area for somebody who likes to drive. So let's have another look there. There's about 3mm of concave through that shape, and there is some bow. So it's quite nice, isn't it? Now, in my hands, let's feel it. See, it doesn't feel to me like a really light pickup. It doesn't feel heavy. It's just sort of, could be better balanced in my opinion. Probably an extra grip or a different grip would help it. It feels like it needs another ½ ounce at the handle and some extra thickness. So an extra grip would definitely make the bat feel a lot better. Let's weigh the bat and see what it weighs. Remembering I have actually done this review 3 times. So I know that this bat weighs, well, it was 2.9, but obviously when I weighed it before, I had the toe guard on it, so now it's a little bit lighter. There will be a Shugu toe going back on it for the owner. So 2.89, but I actually, you know, I've had bats that feel much lighter than their pickup, and this one doesn't, but it's definitely one of those bats which will have power in the hitting zone because all that wood is just sort of condensed into that sweet spot. I would expect with a bat like this, with this shape, with that spine being fairly even through to the handle, that you're going to get good performance up high, petering out just around this point here as the edge starts to drop off. So firstly, before I do that, let's bring in the grey nickels and give that a tap up for comparison. So definitely not as pretty. That doesn't mean everything, does it? I'm trying to demonstrate to you that grains aren't everything. Blemishes can actually improve the performance of the bat. Also preparing them properly. This bat has been properly played in. This particular bat, I cannot remember who it was purchased from. We'll do the tap up. So it's starting to go in mid-low position, mid. Still plenty going there. So the press on it to me doesn't feel hard. It does feel like most CA bats that I've knocked, which they initially feel a bit hard even after you've oiled them, and then probably about 45 minutes in you get real deformation and collapsing of the face, probably up to 1 mil. It's really, you have to be really careful with knocking these. If you go too hard too early, you'll just break the face up. So with this one, I'd recommend that it gets an oil and left for 5 days so that that oil really penetrates before any knocking is attempted. And as I say in my knocking in video, which I'll put the link up now, always do it gradually. Increase your hitting power towards the end. Don't go bullet a gate from the beginning because you're just going to cause compression cracks. It pings really well, doesn't it? So these retail over $800 Australian, but this Morgs edition I think is the end of season now, so that might be, you might see reductions on this particular bat now as they roll out a new bat. But yeah, all in all, look, it's nice to see a CA with a slightly different shape without that spine heading down into the toe. I do actually believe that this is going to perform really well. I wish they'd made this a little bit thicker, but if that's what the player likes and that's why they've done it like that, then so be it. But I would rather see a little bit more weight and structure here, just to reduce that twisting that's inherent in that handle that I can demonstrate there. But you know, as that plays in, that twist will become noticeable. So there you have it. Thank you very much to David for sending in the CA Plus 2000 Morgs edition. Stunning bat. And once again, if you like the page, please click like on the video, subscribe, comment on the video, jump over to my Facebook page. You can chat to me through Facebook. I'm always there to have a chat about bats. Thanks very much, everyone.